Hopefully this can see me, but anyway. Today I want to talk about the technology and communication. We can all agree that technology has affected traditional communication in big ways. The invention of the cellular phone and the internet and the evolution of both of these technologies has changed the way the world works. Today we're going to go into detail about this and analyze both the positive and negative impact that our modern technology has had on society, relationships, and interpersonal communication. First, I want to talk about the invention of cellular phones and the effect that this invention has had on communication. Before the invention of the cell phone, we had to reach our friends on a landline, never knowing specifically who would answer the phone or if they would even be home to take the call. The cell phone is a revolutionary invention which allows us to take our phone on the go and the ability to be reachable at any given time and allows for more efficient and direct communication. However, in another sense, cell phones allow us to avoid real-life social interaction. With the development of text messaging, people began to migrate toward electronic contact versus face-to-face interactions. For example, many people now prefer to communicate through text messaging rather than actually having a face-to-face conversation. According to research referenced by Hyman in January 2014 in the article, cell phones are changing social interaction. Young adults also use text messaging as their primary method of contacting friends. Over 80% report text messaging as their preferred method. Another good thing about text messaging is the ability to receive text alerts about weather, school events, and emergency situations. This allows for quick and efficient relay of information when needed. The convenience of having everyone at our fingertips at all times has really spoiled us, and now we're even impatient awaiting a reply. Now that we've talked about cell phones, I want to talk a little bit about the internet and social media. The invention of the internet has allowed for many changes in the way we communicate. The internet allows us to connect and relay information electronically with anyone around the globe. This makes the internet a great tool for mass communication. News and events are easily accessible at any time of day, and they now spread like wildfire on social media forums. When shopping went online, people began using the internet to shop rather than going into stores and communicating with actual people. We began to use email and instant messenger as a regular form of communication. These are a couple of small ways that the internet changed communication. Then there was social media. As social media became a growing outlet for social interactions, people began to create their online personas and live vicariously through the internet. Now we can even access these sites from a cell phone, making our social interactions even more readily available. Social media started to become popular back in the early 2000s with the invention of Zynga, MySpace, and then Facebook. Facebook was the most revolutionary of these social profiles as it was the most versatile and innovative of its time. According to social media statistics posted on the website for Pew Research Center in November of 2016, 79% of online adults and 68% of all Americans use Facebook. Facebook is now a major modern communication tool for most people. Since the rise of Facebook, the world of social media has evolved into many different outlets, all having the same result, connecting us with our friends and family. We browse through pictures of our friends' lives, friends around the world even, and keep in touch with people we may never see. By doing so, we have gained the ability to sustain larger number of friendships and never lose touch with anyone, with our friends or acquaintances. On the other hand, we have also reduced our intimate relationships to more often surface-level interaction. In an article by South University, Mobile Phones and Society, How Being Constantly Connected Impacts Our Lives, from May of 2013, Dr. Elizabeth Saunders Medlock says, the use of texting and Facebook and Twitter and other sites as a form of communication is eroding people's ability to write sentences that communicate real meaning and inhibit the art of dialogue. It also allows people to communicate without ever seeing each other or hearing a voice, and this has a huge impact in that much communication is done non-verbally or in inflection and tone of voice. We will have a generation that has no clue how to read any of these cues. It is easy to see that while there are many benefits to using the internet as a social outlet, the downfalls could potentially be devastating for the future of communication and the ability to maintain effective communication in relationships. Now that we've discussed the internet and communication, I would like to discuss the pros and cons of technology and communication. Faster communication, direct communication, and wider spread of communication are a few of the pros. And a few of the cons are that you have less face-to-face interaction, less intimacy in relationships, more shallow and acquaintance-like relationships, and also that false information spreads fast as well. In an article from techwall.com titled Communication Technology Pros and Cons from September 15, 2016, Zachary Fennell outlines a few of the pros and cons of technology and communication. One of the major pros of communication technology is accessibility. Fennell states that communication technology has created many electronic communication tools. These electronic communication tools have made the world a more connected place, says Fennell. This accessibility of being able to communicate efficiently and freely has changed the way communication works worldwide. As we are now accustomed to this quick access to people and information, we get impatient about getting our replies. One of the cons of our modernized communication system is the way it's affected communication and social interactions of our younger generations. Millennials and younger generations tend to use electronic communication more frequently than real-life interactions. While these technologies make it easier to be in close contact with anyone at any time, it causes us to take face-to-face social interactions for granted. It comes down to quantity versus quality. We may spend a large amount of time communicating with friends, but what is the quality of that time? It is easy to see that our modern technology has greatly affected modern communication. It has its benefits and it has its downfalls. Overall, I believe that cell phones, the internet, and social media have been amazing assets to communication. These new technologies have given us an extraordinarily efficient outlet for spreading ideas and information, expressing ourselves, and keeping better in touch with friends and family and acquaintances on a regular basis. Although technology may change the way that future generations interact with one another, I think it is mostly a good thing. With any new concept, there's an adjustment. People have to work harder to maintain their close personal friendships and relationships by being physically present in each other's lives. However, as long as we promote effective communication in all of our relationships and we don't let electronic contact take precedence over real-life communications, everything will be just fine.